It is my singular honor and privilege to grace this occasion to commission and hand over houses constructed under the Dzivaresekwa and the Imbizo Barracks Institutional Accommodation Project. In line with Vision 2030, the Second Republic, under my leadership, is facilitating the provision of housing, Zimba, which is a basic and a fundamental need to human comfort. Hence, today, we celebrate yet another milestone that is more than brick and mortar, but also a show of my government's unwavering commitment to provide modern, safe, and affordable housing for both public sector employees as well as citizens in general. The prioritization of members of the Defense Forces as they serve advance our national interest as well as defend our independence, our sovereignty, and our territorial integrity of our beloved motherland, Zimbabwe, is of utmost importance to us. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, providing decent accommodation and safe working spaces are some of the critical enablers for our forces to focus on their primary and the most important contribution towards the modernization, industrialization, and the growth of our economy. I am therefore pleased to hand over houses for occupation and use by the officers, men and women, in uniform and their families. May these facilities be a symbol and a constant reminder of the enduring gratitude, respect, and honor that our nation has for the sacrifices made by our defense forces. The peace, security, and defense of our nation remain fundamental requisites and catalysts for economic transformation, enabling all sectors and the general citizenry to engage in productive economic activities. This is guaranteed by our security sector without having to be distracted by accommodation issues. Ngava kuvata pakanaka kuti vagotichengeta vasina mwe wa region. This further assures them of higher levels of professional dignity, while inculcating broader military norms and value systems, as well as encouraging greater bonding, unity, and the spirit of military camaraderie among all members of the defense forces. In addition, the availability of institutional accommodation is vital for maintaining operational efficiencies, including enabling our national army to coordinate quickly and efficiently and react in cases of emergencies and disasters. vange vavata pakanaka, vanomuka vodzivirira nyika vasina mumweya. The Dzivaresekwa and the Imbizo Barracks institutional accommodation projects are aimed at the construction of a total of 8,430 housing units. Regrettably, the projects were in the past stalled for various reasons and are now moving forward at an increased pace and momentum. I therefore commend the Ministry of Defense, the Zimbabwe Defense Forces Construction Regiment, working in conjunction with Broadhaven Construction Company for the success milestones realized to date. Well done, congratulations, Wanawe Zimbabwe. Going into the future, I urge the Ministry of Defense to expand the size of the construction regiment and appropriately equip this strategic unit so that it increases its efficiency and capabilities in the construction field. In addition, the training of service personnel to acquire qualifications, skills, and experience in the various construction and engineering fields should be scaled up. Ultimately, you, as the Defense Forces, must augment our ongoing public sector construction initiatives. This would in turn enable private contractors to focus on industrial as well as other vital national projects, such as dams, roads, and energy infrastructure, among others. Meanwhile, innovative financing solutions and partnerships must be developed towards supporting as well as speeding up the ongoing and the planned massive construction projects across our barracks. These include accommodation facilities at the Jason's Yapapa Moyo Barracks, Josiah Magamatengo Gara Barracks, and 2 Presidential Guards Battalion headquarters, 33 Infantry Battalion in Chipinge, and 13 Infantry Battalion in Plumtree, among others. Comrades and friends, ladies and gentlemen, the quality of the completed houses we are witnessing today attests to the professionalism, ingenuity, and the competency of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces Construction Regiment. Once again, I say to them, well done, Makorokoto. Vazhinji mangoti masoja ndokugwa vanovaka dzimba dzokuti ukavata muhope dzaonorota demudzokorera kuvata. It is pleasing that the Zimbabwe Defense Forces has shifted from conventional brick and mortar houses to a new, cheaper, cleaner, climate smart, and sustainable building technology. The approach must see more houses being speedily constructed, resulting in many more families being accommodated in decent modern houses. I urge stakeholders in the housing and the built environment space to play their part towards accelerating the realization of our national targets. Let us continue to work together towards addressing the housing backlog. Equally, our human settlements must always be accompanied by basic services, including decent roads, recreation facilities, education and health facilities, as well as water and sanitation infrastructure. Competing interests over land and the planning overlays must be ironed out. Urban and rural local authorities are urged to ensure strict compliance to building laws and standards. On its part, my government will continue to facilitate an enabling environment, including advancing legislative and policy measures to enable our citizens to have access to adequate shelter. To date, the capitalization of the Housing Guarantee and National Housing Fund has been considered in the 2025 national budget. Meanwhile, all beneficiaries of the institutional accommodation and accompanying facilities here at Zwaresekwa, as well as at Imbizo Barracks, must be good stewards over the properties. Vachapinda mudzimba dzavakadzi modzichengeta dzirambe dzakachena. Kana afura madzihwa usapa madziro zvirina nekuisa pasheti yako. This includes taking adequate measures to beautify the surrounding environment. Modzvarawo maruva anditi padzimba dzamunogara, kachipfuura so imba mai varimo ishasha, hamene kwavakabvavo, but next to shasha, so oda kuti unzi hamene kwavakabva. The ambience of working and living spaces in all containment areas across the country must be deliberately spruced up and where necessary modernized. Kwete kuti zvandakaona imba iri ndangoisiya sezvandakaiwana. Vanovaka havasi vanodzvara loni. Loni inozodzvabwa nemana zogarapo. Mazviwa hongu. Kana usina mweya wokugadzira pamba paunogara, usamba nomweya wokuda kuona imba. In concluding, let me once again reiterate my government's resolve to build a future where our defense forces are well looked after and adequately equipped to defend our nation, as well as capacitated to realize fulfilling careers. To the officers, men and women of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, including the construction regiment of the army, I thank you all for your hard work and professionalism, which have seen us realize this milestone of decent accommodation and other projects within the defense forces across all our provinces and districts. Well done, our defense forces.